Okay, yes, I'm a dragon, get over it. Don't be a pussy, we're here to talk about Halo today. Anybody that still has anything to do with this franchise nowadays goes so easy on it, and the people that made it. The bar has been lowered so low, it's under the fucking ground at this point. It's like halfway to China by now. And because of that, people take the most minor of positive things that 343 does as an indication that that's, like, the direction Halo's going in general. Like, Halo's gonna be saved. Like, everything's gonna be on the up and up from here. Here's the thing, you shouldn't think that. There's no logical reason for you to think that. There's absolutely no plausible reason you should have hope for this franchise or this studio, given everything we know and everything that has happened in the last decade. I think some of you have forgotten exactly how we got to this point. So in this video, we're going to go back, and I'm going to jog your memories, because you may have forgotten. 343 Studios may have forgotten. I haven't. So come with me. Let me regale you with this tale. This is a story about how a studio, backed by one of the wealthiest companies in the world, took one of the most legendary, iconic, world-renowned space sci-fi franchises of all time and fucked up the whole fucking thing somehow. Hold on, that's the wrong one. I was talking about this one. Though that story is surprisingly similar. I've been wanting to make a video like this for 12 years, and that's not an exaggeration. There are lines in this video that are word for word shit that it's been rattling around in my head rent-free since these games came out. But anyway, we got a lot to talk about, so let's get to it. This is the story of how Halo slowly died to death. It's the 6th of November 2012. Billions and billions of people are lining up to get their copy of the highly anticipated sequel to one of the best video games of all time. I went to Harvey Norman, I bought the video game, and then I went home, popped it in my Xbox, and loaded up the game for the very first time. And I actually quite liked it. Seriously, I played the shit out of this game. Despite all the crap I'm about to say about it, I actually have fond memories of Halo 4. I remember actually legitimately not being able to tell if the intro cutscene was CGI or live action. Like, I remember being genuinely impressed with how good this looked. The art style is weird, but the lighting looks pretty nice. Everything is so shiny. Why can't I see the inside of my helmet? I hate that. I feel like I'm wearing ski goggles. I don't like having my peripheral vision taken from me. But hey, Cortana looks hotter, better than ever. The music's cool, but I can't really remember any of it. Well, except for that one song that goes like... Who is this guy? Who's this lady? Who's this guy? Who is this lady? Where's my dino buddy? Why does Chief's armor look different? Nano machines? Okay, sure. Oh, look at all these cool new guns. Man, all this hardlight stuff is making me hard. Fuck these teleporting dickheads and their stupid little flying fuckface friends. Why are they invincible during the teleport animation? That's such bullshit. So that about summarizes my initial reaction to my first time playing Halo 4. I enjoyed it, but the bag was rather mixed. Though I will say, this fucking scene goes so hard, it caught me so off guard my first time playing. Yeah, we know what Halo is. Halo is... Jesus fuck, it's so dark, I love it. So, I might be in the minority here, but I actually really like that 343 decided to develop Master Chief and Cortana's relationship beyond a couple of quippy one-liners. A lot of people don't like how much dialogue Master Chief has in the game. It just feels so different to the previous games, where he barely said a word. It probably goes against the intention of the original creators. Like, he's probably supposed to be a kind of surface-level, blank slate type character. And I get it. If the character's a blank slate, well, then anyone can project themselves onto that character. The more specific you get with a character, the harder it is for people to do that. But personally, like, making a character more of a character, like more of a person, that is always going to be more interesting to me. So I will defend 343 on that point. And this is likely the last time you'll hear me say that. I liked Halo 4's campaign. I thought it was pretty decent. I still think all the previous campaigns were better, but it's not bad. I still enjoy going through most of it when I replay all the games. The multiplayer, on the other hand... Now look, I'm going to be fair. Clearly this game did some things right, or else I wouldn't have played it enough to reach over level 100. It wasn't as fun as 3 or Reach, but it was at least fun. custom games were still really great with friends, Forge was improved, and unlike 3 and Reach, my shots actually registered consistently. I remember Big Team Battle being a lot of fun. I really like some of the new game modes, like Dominion, and eventually Ricochet. I played the shit out of that temporary Super Bowl event they did. I thought it was super fun. Infection was, Jesus Christ, only a mother could love that face. Alright, let's get into the bad stuff, here we go. I get what they were trying to go for here, with the infected forms being Flood, but surely 343 would have had to have known how common infection is in custom games, so for them to neuter it like this by making the infected only able to use melee, like, what the fuck, dude? Why? That's such an indefensibly stupid decision. What were you thinking? The sound design for this game is, some of it's cool, but it just has this loud obnoxiousness to it that's really grating after a while. Trust me, I know a thing or two about being loud and obnoxious. Why does all the plasma stuff sound like compressed gas? You're breaking the rules. You're breaking the rules, 343. These things are supposed to go pew 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 pew, not fucking queef guns. Every time I was in a regen field, I legitimately thought there was something wrong with my headset. But the one thing I absolutely cannot forgive is what you did to my brr. I literally can't express in words how much I despise this sound effect. It sounds like a frog strapped to some kid's translucent purple toy megaphone, and the BR was easily the best weapon, so it's the sound you're going to be hearing for 95% of your time playing this game. Just... The death screams are also a massive downgrade from the previous games. You'll barely hear them most of the time because everything else is so fucking loud, and it's very easy to get headshot in this game, and every single time somebody gets headshot, it plays the exact same get shot in the throat and fucking dies.wav. So when you combine that with the BR noise, you wind up with most of your games just sounding like... This is pure ass! If I didn't already have tinnitus due to an ear surgery, this game surely would have given it to me. Also, I get that you wanted to provide an actual in-universe justification for the multiplayer to exist with the war games and shit, but like, I kinda wish you didn't. I don't care about story in my multiplayer mode, I just want it to be good. The lack of an established canonical story reason for the multiplayer allowed people to come up with their own stories. And what did you do to Jeff? Why does he sound like a football announcer coming out of a ham radio?
Flag captured, flag runner, flag champion, carrier kill, flag joust.
He sounds way too excited and happy about everything. I much prefer the gritty, darker tone of Jeff's voice in the Bungie Halos.
Blue team has the flag. Capture the flag. Double kill. Game over. Skull on. Flag stolen. Assault. Bomb armed. Rampage! Untouchable! Invincible!
This isn't a game, goddammit, it's a fucking war! It didn't happen all the time either, which made hearing it feel special and rewarding. But in Halo 4 you get so many medals they feel more like participation stickers, and the announcer won't shut up. He just yells shit at you for the entire duration of every match. Also, why is Comeback Kill, of all things, one of the ones you considered special enough to give a voice line? In fact, why is Comeback Kill a medal at all? You made a medal where the only way to get it is to die 3 times in a row without killing anyone. I don't feel good when I hear Comeback Kill. If anything, it's just a reminder of how shit I'm doing. The medal design in general is just worse in every way. You used to be able to recognize them at a glance, but now they're all just so samey. I think honestly one of my biggest gripes with Halo 4, just in general, it constantly felt like 343 was just changing shit for the sake of changing shit. Yeah, well, let me tell you something. Change does not automatically equal better. If you change something that was already working perfectly fine for no reason, there's like a 95% chance you're only going to make it worse. And why do you have this fucking obsession with appealing to a wider audience when you already have a fucking enormous one? That's why you put all this COD stuff in there with the loadouts and shit. You literally even said you hired people that hated Halo. Fucking why? Great, now people can just spawn with sticky grenades, plasma pistols, and portable shotguns, because that'll be fun, won't it? Oh, and remember how cancerous armor abilities were in Halo Reach? Well, don't worry, guys, we got rid of armor lock. Now instead we have literal wall hacks. You know, the thing that people do to cheat that usually causes them to get banned forever. 343's like, let's make that a feature. What do you mean? And the ordnance drops are so unfair. They're way too random. Why do I keep getting speed boosts and needlers when the enemy team is getting rocket launchers and incendiary cannons? The last half of every match is such a fuckfest of dropped-in power weapons, you may as well be playing Fiesta. And for some reason, if I lose my weapon and go back to get it, it's almost always gone. The art style... Okay, we're going to talk about this now. I actually don't hate it. I kinda like it. I think it's more generic and less Halo-y. But I see why people like it. I like it too. I just like the older art style way more. I feel like Halo's style has always been kind of beautiful in its simplicity. The armor of both the Spartans and the Covenant were always distinct and memorable. I used to be able to memorize my combatants. I'd be like, right, that bitch in the Eva helmet just teabagged me again. I'm now going to make him uninstall the game. But this is just... What is this? There's so much going on, dude. It's so needlessly overcomplicated. And the secondary color placement is all over the joint. It's so noisy to look at. Why have we gone from red versus blue to pink versus baby blue? And why is the lighting on the player characters so weird? Everyone looks like glow-in-the-dark children's toys, and they don't match the lighting of the environment at all. I feel like this was around about the time video game lighting reached a point where things that used to stand out began to blend in a lot more. So now most gaming companies just slap a glowing outline around everything and call it a day. Is there not a way for us to have both decent lighting and enemies that are readable enough to differentiate from the environment? This feels like a bit of a cop-out to me. But anyway, at least there's a lot of options for customization here. It certainly gives you a lot of control, and I do like the visors. Hey, I wonder what options they have for the elite... Wait a minute! Where's my fucking dinosaur? Okay, so to be fair, Bungie had already kind of soft-retired the elites in Reach by making them only playable in specific game modes and custom games, but like, I want my Dino Boy back, man, because he's my boy. And now he's gone. Like, sure, if you want to make ranked playlists Spartan only, go ahead, you fucking specious pricks, but surely social playlists can still have playable elites at least. It's not like they have an advantage. I always felt like I was significantly easier to kill as an elite than I was as a Spartan. That didn't stop me from using him most of the time anyway. I feel like there's been a lot of problematic dino hate going on in this community for a while now that needs to be addressed. It's simply not acceptable. Though I will say, whenever I get matched with a full team of elites, my first thought is always, well, we're gonna lose. But anyway, all in all, Halo 4 wasn't a terrible game. It just had a whole bunch of annoying elements to it that, on their own, wouldn't have been that bad, but together they just slowly eat away at you, cumulatively making the experience worse, gradually turning that green diamond above your head into a red one, before eventually you realise, yeah, even with the worst netcode, I'd rather just be playing Halo 3 or Reach. Despite its missteps, I genuinely did have fun with Halo 4. The fanbase was looking forward to seeing how 343 would address some of H4's issues in their next game. Halo 5. Hope was in the air. But then... something happened. Now, we all knew that a Halo 2 anniversary was on the cards, but no one was expecting this. Halo, the Master Chef Collection. 343, you beautiful bastards. Yes, this is going to make up for everything Halo 4 did wrong. Look at Halo 2 anniversary. Look at these Hey, Buzz, you are a toy. You're a toy, Buzz, you're a toy. Well, I've got the Tom Hanks voice bubble, so now I'm going to do this in the Tom Hanks voice. Look at it, Buzz. Look at the Halo 2 anniversary. Look at these cutscenes. My god, it looks fucking incredible. I want Halo to look like this forever until the end of time, Buzz. Halo 2 anniversary has only 6 maps. Hold on, you guys made 2 separate Halo 2 anniversaries? Well, why the hell you gonna do that? Alright, this needs to go. Buzz, I'm about to kill myself. Buzz, you ready? Buzz, I'm gonna kill myself. Look, ready? He's gone. One's going to be a complete graphical overhaul of the original Halo 2, and the other's just going to be a modified version of Halo 4 that kinda sorta feels like Halo 2. Okay, that seems like a lot of extra work considering how small the map pool is, but I guess having the ability to switch graphics during multiplayer probably wouldn't work, because then one would surely give an advantage over the other. I'm guessing that's why they didn't do the graphic overhaul to the original Halo 2 multiplayer, and fair enough, I guess. What we got in the end here was a bit weird, but also I'm struggling to think of what else they could have done here. So, you know, this is fine. It looks pretty fun. I cannot describe to you just how much I was looking forward to this game. Me and my other Halo friend at school literally used to just walk around talking about it, like, every day. We'd finally get to play Halo 1 and 2 multiplayer, which we both kinda missed out on. The population would return, so it'd be easier to find games. We could replay through all the campaigns with better graphics and a silky smooth 60 FPS. And now it doesn't matter if Halo 5's bad, because we'll still have all these classic Halos to come back to. But you want to know the main reason? By far and away, the number one reason me and my friend were so desperate for this game to come out, 2 words: dedicated servers. There is a realization you'll eventually come to as an Australian Halo player. You will never be as good as you could be because of where you live. You will always be at a measured disadvantage. Because when 343 made that dedicated server announcement, we realized we were about to wave all of that bullshit goodbye. We just had to wait till the 11th of November, and then everything would be right in the world. Oh, how wrong we were. The Master Chief Collection went down in history as one of the most broken game launches of all time. A prime example, one of the most egregious examples of the release it now, patch it later mentality the AAA space had fallen into, and it's still stuck in to this day. There was so much wrong with this game, I could talk about it at this pace for 24 hours straight and still not cover it all. So we're just going to rapid fire through a few of them. Ready? Matchmaking doesn't work, joining friends doesn't work, post-game stats are fucked. You can kick people from match-made games. Some of the co-op campaigns suffer from the weirdest desync I've ever seen. Trying to load a mission in co-op just crashes half the time, and there's a decent chance the connection shits itself halfway through and you have to start the entire mission all over again. And you got rid of the iconic countdown noise for no reason. You got rid of the boop 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 beep. Why'd you get rid of the boop 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 beep? Halo 3 emblems don't work. Halo 4 armor customization doesn't show up in-game. Custom games lobbies break down. The Halo 2 campaign on classic mode has unbelievably quiet music for some reason. The audio mixing in Halo 2 Anniversary multiplayer is fucked to shit. There's this weird mixture of lines that were either recorded for H2A or taken from Reach, and lines that are just blatantly stolen from Halo 4 that are 3 times as loud for some reason. It's distracting as fuck. Black screens were a constant issue. A lot of the times, if you were lucky enough to find a game, you'd just get booted to the main menu as it was loading. And then, get this, you would be punished with a temporary ban for quitting early and a hit to your Xbox rep, even though you did nothing wrong and it was entirely the game's fault. What the fuck? And the worst part is, you knew the game was fucked to shit. You knew you were selling people a broken product that did not work as advertised, and you sold it anyway. And I know for a fact you knew in advance the game was broken, because I was there. Okay, let me explain. I attended PAX Australia in October of 2014, where I got to kind of realize for the first time just how big gaming was. There was a whole mass of people who were just as into, if not more into video games than I was. Some of them a little too into them, perhaps. It was really cool and I had an absolute blast. I came 3rd in a Halo Reach tournament, 2nd in an ODST firefight tournament, and I discovered it was possible for a human being to have hygiene so bad that a repulsive force field formed around them, preventing anyone from coming within a 3-meter radius. I'll never forget that infernal stench. Ugh. Oh yeah, Jack and Ray from Rooster Teeth were there. Some dude in the audience requested to fondle Jack's beard, and he said yes.
Jack, I noticed you have probably the greatest beard in all of the land. And I was wondering if I could come up on that stage and delicately touch
Santa Claus. Jesus. Delicately touch it? Is that what
you
you
want his
said?
balls on it.
It was a strange 3 days, but it was a good 3 days. You know who else was there though? 343 Industries, demoing, wouldn't you know it, the Master Chief Collection. Specifically Halo 2 Anniversary was the only game we were allowed to play. And over those 3 days, I played the shit out of it. I literally lined up to play the demo like 10 times because I just wanted more. Out of the 10 or so matches I played, I came first in all of them. I'm just that fucking good. Hey, I have the t-shirt to prove it. But they gave me an XL for some reason. But anyway, I noticed as the hours went on each day, they were using less and less Xboxes. I think it started out about 12 people playing and then slowly whittled down to like 6. Because they kept having connection issues and shit. I could see them actively struggling with the game, desperately trying to get it to work. I'm pretty sure at one point they tried to get Team Slayer working, but they just couldn't, so they had to go back to just free-for-all. My point is, they were having a lot of trouble getting the MCC to function properly with just 12 Xboxes that were all right next to each other. 343 knew full well they were releasing a horrifically broken product. They just did. There's only 2 possibilities here, right? Either you knew it was broken and released it anyway, or you actually suck at your jobs that much you didn't realize it was broken until you released it. Which, that is a legendary level of incompetence. It's fucking mythic, that level of incompetence. So I'm going to give you the benefit of doubt that you're not actually that stupid, and assume that you intentionally released a broken product. It took 343 years to get this game to the state it should have released in, and to this very day, there's still shit wrong with it. Why don't the campaigns have the original credits? Those aren't inconsequential, you know, they're an important part of the experience, and they just don't exist. Do you have any idea how jarring it is to finish slogging through a hellish legendary run? Or hell, maybe even you're someone who's playing one of these stories for the first time, only to be immediately kicked in the face with the main menu and whatever today's daily fucking notification is. Oh, we got a new item in the shop, guys! Go away! Call me old-fashioned, but I think people that made things deserve to be credited for the shit that they made. Why are companies so stingy with this nowadays? I swear, companies are like, you should consider yourself lucky we even mentioned your fucking name. We already paid you, and yet you ask for more. We can barely make a profit as it is, with all you greedy artists already taking so much from us. And yet you would be so cruel as to ask us to write your name? Yes! What possible reason do you have not to? It means the world to someone for them to have their name on something that they worked so hard on, and it costs you literally nothing to credit them for it. Anyway, back to the Master Chief Collection. The missing credits isn't the only problem that persists. Here's another big one. There's still no player count. And this isn't a bug, this is a feature that was very intentionally removed despite being in Halo for some time now. You understand that, especially in a low population region like Australia, it is crucial that I know how many people are in a playlist so that I know I'm not wasting my time in a playlist that could be fucking empty for all I know. The argument about not wanting everyone to pile into the most popular playlist and ignore the other game modes might make some sort of sense in America, where the population is big enough to support that kind of mindset. It doesn't work anywhere else, though. I just have to fucking guess at which playlist might have enough people in it. And nobody ends up playing the other playlists anyway, because they don't want to take the risk of wasting their time searching where no one is playing. About 2% of my playtime with MCC has been Big Team Battle. The other 97.9% has been in Team Slayer, because that was the only way I could actually play the video game. Even still, I've probably spent almost as much time searching for games as I have playing them. Hiding the player count just makes you look like you're embarrassed by how few people are playing your game. Halo 5 and Halo Infinite don't have player counts either. Like, what other massive game company is scared to show you how many people are playing their game? Now that it's on PC, you can't even hide it anyway, because Steam charts are a thing. Well, except for the Xbox players, I guess. They just have to pray they're not completely wasting their fucking time. Don't hide important information from me about the product that I paid for, okay? This annoys me in the same way that the windows in my car annoy me, because they automatically try to fully open or close themselves, regardless of if I'm holding the button or not. So when I only want the window part of the way down, it becomes this fucking battle with the system. In your efforts to make me less distracted while driving, you've actually gone and created a much more egregious distraction. In other words, stop taking control away from me and telling me it's for my own good. No, it isn't. All that said, you want to know the one thing about this game? The one thing that pisses me off more than anything else by far and away? There were no dedicated servers. The one fucking thing me and my mate were more excited about than anything else, the primary reason we bought this shithouse collection, was a fucking lie. It was just dog shit peer-to-peer again. And when they eventually did add dedicated servers, they were like pseudo-dedicated servers, because these old games still treat everything as peer-to-peer. As an Australian, connecting to a US server was still just as shit as it used to be on peer-to-peer. It hadn't gotten any better. In fact, in some cases, it actually felt noticeably worse somehow. You couldn't choose your fucking region, so 95 out of 100 times you're getting a US server, whether you like it or not. So really, the game should have said, dedicated servers. For people in the US only, everybody else can get fucked. There was a very brief time period, I'm talking literally a couple of months, right after Reach came out on PC, where you could choose which servers to play on, and for just a couple blissful months, me and my friends were finally able to actually play Halo on Australian servers. Every single match, it was heaven. This was the Halo I always wanted. The Halo Americans had been playing for years. The experience robbed from me due to circumstance. It was finally here. And then it was gone. At some point, there was an update. Aussie servers didn't work anymore, and we were right back to square fucking one. And to this day, I almost never find games on Australian servers. I bought this game 10 years ago for that one thing over everything else. And after all that time, a decade later, I still haven't got what I fucking paid for. Look how far along the red bar is in this video. You see how much has happened already, despite how much we still have to go? The MCC is just... I don't understand. You had a bunch of already finished video games. Outside of the Halo 2 Anniversary models and graphics, you didn't have to make anything new. All you had to do was make it all work. And you fucked it up so badly. It's basically considered a historical event in gaming. That's how badly you fucked it up. I get that modernizing and running old software on new hardware can be a surprisingly difficult venture. Okay, I know the pain of trying to get Lego Island to run on my Windows 10.
Are you ready to...
But that was literally the bare minimum of what you had to do. Make it work. We all appreciate the graphical enhancements and the extra goodies. We all appreciate how pretty Halo 2 Anniversary looks. But at the end of the day, if I literally can't play the fucking game, what's the point? I am not taking this fucking bullshit game dev is hard excuse. If you weren't sure you could do it, you shouldn't have fucking done it and sold it. Or you should have delayed it until it was actually ready. Or you should have hired more people to work on it to get it done in time. There are so many things you could have done other than what you did. Listen, I'm not a professional video game developer, but I am a solo video game developer, and I understand game development is excruciatingly hard sometimes, and it's incredibly common to run into these nightmarish issues with things that you expected to be easy and simple. But that excuse really doesn't hold up when you are the flagship franchise of one of the wealthiest companies on the face of the earth. I always hear the 343 defenders jumping in being like, it's not 343, it's Microsoft. They're owned by Microsoft, the same fucking thing. Who cares? Who cares? No one cares. I, as the consumer, do not give a flying fuck whose fault it is. I just want the product I paid for to work as advertised. I want it to not be shit. 343 Studios is not a person, okay? They're a multi-million-dollar company. I can bully them as much as I want. I am not even remotely concerned with what specific individuals within the company or parent company or whatever are responsible for the game being bad. Microsoft should be, though. You should know whose fault things are, Microsoft, so you can fire those people, so you stop making games that are shitty and don't work properly. Because if no one can be held accountable for the game being bad, then those people stick around, and the next game is just as bad. So internally, yeah, a studio should care who's doing their job properly, or who is responsible for certain shitty managerial decisions. Again, flagship franchise, one of the wealthiest companies in the world. I just want a good Halo game, man. Don't tell me it's not possible. But you know what? Even though Halo 4 was like the ugly duckling of the group and MCC was one of the most disappointing things I've ever experienced in my life, maybe it's not all bad. Hey, it's 2015 next year. That's not too long a wait. Maybe Halo 5 will be better. Wait, hold on, let's go back a bit. We need to talk about the marketing for this game. Poncho Chief. Spartan Lock versus Master Chief, New Blood versus Old Blood. Is this a morally grey thriller where both sides don't really want to fight each other but have to because of their conflicting goals? This could actually be pretty cool. 343 released all these audio logs hinting at the possible events of the game. Hell, there was even a mini TV series that takes place on the destroyed part of the ring from the first game. That sounds fucking awesome. It was mid. I don't remember a single thing about it. But despite that, 343 clearly went all out with the marketing of this game. I was genuinely excited to see what would happen. And after all that, the only thing we got was a single 5-minute cutscene of them fist-fighting each other, and that's it! This is borderline false advertising, dude. You made this out to be such a bigger part of the picture. The marketing for this game's story and the actual story are so far apart, it's not even funny. Out of every single Halo campaign, this is the only one that I actually genuinely dislike replaying. It just isn't fun, it's annoying. I know Halo games have never really had the best boss fights, so to speak, but you reused the exact same boss fight 7 times? And you can only play as Chief in 3 out of the 15 missions. And 3 of those 15 missions are literally just walking around talking to people. What the fuck is this padded garbage? Arbiter's back and he looks dumb. Why does he look like the fucking Sangheili equivalent of the Pope? His entire thing was going against his religion because he realized he was being lied to. Why does he look so pious? There's zero sense of isolation anymore because you've always got 3 useless ning-nongs at your side who don't listen to you and almost never revive you. Buck is the only character I like, and he sounds like he's from a different game. A game that was written by people who know how to write characters that aren't wooden as fuck. I still hate that you can see the inside of the helmet. Is this just me? Is this just some autism thing? This makes me so uncomfortable for some reason. I feel like I can't properly take in the world around me. I know I don't have claustrophobia, but this is somehow giving it to me. Hey look, we revived Cortana off screen. We also made her evil off screen. Deal with it. It's just so boring, dude. A Halo campaign should not be boring, but this one is. That whole 30 seconds of fun is just not here. It's more like 30 seconds of and that's the entire game. Once again, I only remember like one music track from the entire game, and I'm pretty sure it was just a remix of one of Marty and Mike's themes. I was so upset that I couldn't even play through this campaign with my dad, like we'd always done with every single Halo beforehand. You went out of your way to make this stupid story justification for there being 4 players in co-op, and then deleted one of the primary ways in which co-op Halo was played. It's fucking synonymous, dude. Like, how can you remove split screen from Halo? It's like removing bananas from Donkey Kong, or removing automobiles from Grand Theft Auto, or removing racist 12-year-olds from Call of Duty lobbies. Alright, it's time to dig into this thing's multiplayer, but just like Halo 4, I'm gonna be fair here. Let's give credit where credit's due. Let's go over the good stuff first. Breakout. On to the bad. The rec system. Okay, this bit I'm about to talk about is the sole reason I will never feel bad being mean to this company. So here's what happened. A bunch of your community were expressing their very legitimate concerns about what looked like a very microtransaction-heavy system making its way into Halo, and how it could very negatively impact the game. And your response was, in essence, "Dear our beloved Halo community, if you think microtransactions are going to ruin Halo, you're retarded, it'll be fine." Proceeds to ruin Halo with microtransactions. I fucking hate this company, I really do. Obviously those weren't the actual words they used, but they pretty much implied that.
Wait, won't rec packs with special weapons break the exquisitely refined balance of arena multiplayer?
Secure your noise hole, soldier. Grown-ups are talking.
Damn it.
Long story short.
So can't someone save up their rec cards, join a Warzone match, and spawn an uber-powerful vehicle?
Your noise hole just doesn't know when to quit.
If your community has legitimate concerns with some of the decisions you're making, and your response is to depict them as, like, dumb and stupid in a cartoon, that's pretty yucky. That's kind of yucky, dude. That's kind of yuck. You're a yuck company. Especially when all the shit people were concerned about ended up being 100% true. There are so many teeny tiny variations of armor that are barely different from each other that you intentionally added just to pad out the armor count so it would take about 5 times longer for people to get the armor they want. And because the system is entirely random out of every single piece of customization in the game, there is a chance that you won't unlock the armor you want until you've unlocked literally everything else first. You just have to get lucky. Look, Joe even did the calculations.
So we did the math, and it's looking like 3.4 million rec points to get every piece of customization.
Of cosmetics.
So just to get the cosmetics. Oh, that's right, just cosmetics, not weapons and some of the other stuff. 10,000 rec points per gold pack. You'll get 2 permanent upgrades per gold pack. Okay, so there's 679 total cosmetics. So 340 gold packs is what you'll need to unlock the cosmetics in the game. Well, how much does 340 gold packs cost? $1,101.60. Okay, well you say, well Joe, you don't have to spend money. You can unlock as you go along. Okay, well let's try to calculate how long it would take you to do it without spending money. So 2 hours of game time equals 1 gold pack, roughly. So you need 2 hours of game time, and you need 340 of them. So that is that's 680 hours.
680 hours.
Okay, so only 680 hours, please, or $1,101.60. So this is what the rec system does to Halo 5. And you make your own decision. Do you think that's good for the Halo universe? Do you think that that the 343 and Microsoft put this in the system for players? Or do you think they put that in the system for business?
Like, holy shit, this is fucked! Also, remember emblems? The thing that you used to be able to change immediately to whatever you wanted? They're also locked behind this stupid fucking roulette system now. And even when you do get the emblem, you're limited to preset colors for some reason. I'll say it again, because it bears repeating, and is also very applicable to everything outside of video games at the moment. Stop taking control away from me and telling me it's for my own good. Go fuck yourself. Fucking kill yourself. If you've been using the same emblem since Halo 2 and you want to use it again, you could literally play for hundreds of hours and never get it due to bad luck. Seriously, this is so egregious. This is worse than Battlefront 2. I don't understand how this didn't get the same level of backlash that that game got, because by fucking oath it deserved it. This is dog shit. This is such a shitty way to treat your own fans, deliberately trying to make the experience as tedious as possible to incentivize people to spend fuck tons of real money on shit they used to be able to earn by just playing the game. A game that is already full price, by the way. Halo already established a certain way that player customization worked. You don't just get to take that away, replace it with this microtransaction fest, and then act like you're doing it for the players. Get fucked, you're doing it for the players. No, you are deliberately making the player's experience considerably worse than it used to be to try and squeeze more money out of them. And if you try to twist that in any other way, you're a fucking liar. Okay, settle down, Kaylie. It's just a video game. It's just a video game. And it doesn't even matter because the game looks ugly as fuck anyway. The glow-in-the-dark Spartans from Halo 4 have returned. The beta looked way better than this. What the fuck happened? Team Fortress 2 can get away with shit like this because 1, it's a free-to-play game, and 2, if you really want a specific cosmetic out of thousands in the game, you don't just have to hope and pray that one day you get lucky. You can trade with people for like a couple of bucks and get the exact cosmetics you want. Okay, so the customization unlocks, that's one half of the rec system. Let's talk about the other side real quick. Now, I wouldn't call Warzone a 100% pay-to-win game. I also wouldn't call it a 0% pay-to-win game. I always find myself not wanting to use my more powerful cards because I only have a couple of them and I might die and lose it before I even get to use it. But if you're just spending a shit ton of real money on rec packs, you'll have tons of the things, so you can use them all the time. This shit down here doesn't matter. People who pay more money are still able to use more powerful cards more often. That is a pay-to-win system, dude. Or at the very least, a pay-to-be more likely to win system, because you have better shit than your opponents more often. So you can take your little video of Mr. Chief being a condescending prick to the entire player base for concerns that ended up being 100% validated in the end, and you can take your fucking rec system and shove it up your Okay, let's talk about the actual multiplayer itself. I've heard some people say that Halo 5's multiplayer was actually pretty decent, and I could not disagree more. Okay, you got rid of the Call of Duty loadouts, we're back to equal starts, that's good, we're all glad you did that. But I can only give so many brownie points for undoing a poor change that you never should have made in the first place. It's like when Microsoft came out of nowhere and announced that they were deleting Paint, and everyone was just like, why? And then Microsoft was like, upon further consideration, we hear you, we've listened to our community, and we've decided not to delete Paint. Aren't we the best? Applaud now, please. Applaud. Yes, thank you. We're awesome. We know. How many good changes has 343 made that was just undoing bad changes they shouldn't have made in the first place? Loadouts, colored undersuits, the art style, getting rid of funny enemy dialogue by making them not speak English anymore, the helmet blocking your peripheral vision. No, I will not shut up about that. I will say, I commend what you tried to do to mitigate the problem with armor abilities. Actually, quick aside, let's talk about armor abilities for a second, because it was actually Bungie who decided to put armor abilities in Halo back in Reach. Let's talk about respect for a moment. Respect is something that is earned, but I truly believe every single person on Earth, until they prove otherwise, deserves at least a base level of respect. Except for people who use armor lock in Halo Reach. Bungie, you're usually pretty good at this. How the fuck did this happen? How? Why? Explain to me why this is in the game. Why did you do this? Why did you did this? Why did you did this?
Ma'am, why did you did this? Why did you did this? Ma'am, why did you...
It beats grenades, it beats rocket launchers, it beats swords, hammers, it beats every single vehicle, even tanks.
Beats everything!
It removes the shields of anyone in a 5-mile radius, and all you have to do is hold a single button down and wait for your teammates to bail you out of what should have been a very deserved death. Were you guys on crack when you put this in the game? This fucking ability makes me want to kill the person using it. Not their Spartan, I mean the person holding the controller. It is the only thing that to this day still has the ability to make me bring out my gamer words, dude. Nothing else sends me into primal gamer rage like this fucking shit. I don't care what year it is. I stand by everything I said. If you use armor lock, you're a fucking fat little shit fucking fat getting in the ass with a big fat huge all over your like a little bitch, and your mom is a genuinely lovely lady who I would never disrespect over a silly video game. Though she's probably really disappointed in you. And don't give me this armor lock is easy to counter, just get good bullshit. Yeah, not when you're Australian and there's a full second before they go into armor lock where they're invincible, and a full second after they leave it where they're invincible, and if you try to use it yourself, it's the same thing, but in reverse. Once again, Halo's just like, well, if you're not American, you can get fucked. Should have been born in the right country, So in Halo 5, 343 got rid of armor abilities, but instead gave everyone a bunch of abilities by default that you could just do. You've got your ground pound, your hover, your thrusters, your slide, your clamber, your Spartan charge. I see what you were going for here, wanting Spartans to be able to do all this cool shit other than just moving and shooting. I don't even hate the idea, but the armor abilities themselves are just annoying. Thrusters just felt frustrating and gimmicky, Spartan charge was cancerous. I don't really like ledge grabbing because I hate getting shot while I'm ledge grabbing because I know by the time I get to fire anything, I'm already as good as dead. I understand why it's there though. I guess it's less frustrating for new players to just be able to grab onto ledges instead of falling down because their pinky toe didn't clear the jump. I don't like the slide. It's annoying. People do this in every game where there's a slide mechanic and it's never not annoying. You can't look down that quickly on a controller. Ultimately, I don't hate the idea of Spartan abilities. I just didn't find they made the experience better. I found they made it worse. Halo plays best, in my opinion, when you just focus on the core movement.
When you look at something and you're like, well, it could be a little bit better, all of a sudden you add all these bells and whistles and all of a sudden it's a clusterfuck.
I'll just make
it's
it
simple.
worse. Yeah.
Also, the aiming in this game just feels wrong somehow. I spent ages fucking around with the settings, looking at advice online. I never found anything that felt as natural to me as the other games. I always felt like I was wrestling the controller. Also, I don't know what the hell happened, but I literally couldn't find games in Halo 5 after like the first year. I could find games of Firefight Warzone, and then eventually, after years, I could sometimes get lucky and find Team Slayer games again. Once again with that ever-present shitty US connection, because of course there were no Australian servers. But it was literally almost impossible for me to even play Halo 5 only like a year after its release. Again, going back to MCC, not being able to play the game, kind of a massive problem. I mean, it's not like I was playing Halo 5 that much anyway, so I wasn't as disappointed as I was with the MCC. But still, like, come on, man, this is a joke. It shouldn't be easier for me to find a game on the original version of Halo 3 on the 360 than it is to find matches in your newest game. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about Halo 5, to be honest. Well, you know what time it is. You know what point in the timeline we're up to, don't you? The now point. That's right. It's time to talk about... Actually, we need to rewind again. Go back a bit. Let's just go through the general reception to all the announcements made about Infinite before its release. This trailer was fucking sick. The first time they showed this trailer, no one knew it was Halo. During the trailer, I was thinking, this almost feels a little Halo-y, but there's no way it's actually... Oh my god, it is! Bam, 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 bam. This trailer had people hyped. It very much looked like a return to form with both the art style and the level design. There was an air of mystery around these strange old ruins and carvings. There's actual wildlife now. Halo's always been pretty scarce on wildlife, outside of a couple of rats and emus. I didn't really understand how Master Chief would interact with the wildlife, or if they were just going to be kind of there. Regardless, this was a good trailer. It did exactly what it needed to do and got people actually excited about Halo again. There were some Q&As with mostly positive responsive. Black undersuits are coming back. Split screen was coming back. Still no elites. I'm sad. The second trailer was also pretty good. Still no gameplay, but we got to see Chief in his full old school armor looking doper than ever. I can't explain why, but just hearing the classic shield charge noise in this trailer made me so happy. Things were looking up. Everything seemed like it was going in a good direction. The first gameplay trailer hits, and it's fine. I think I was perhaps preparing to be astonished, and instead it was just like, okay. I like all the classic Covenant armor, the art style looks nice. Gone are the overcomplicated, noisy designs of Halo 4 and 5. And the grappling hook looks fun, dude. The graphics and like some of the lighting and stuff was a bit underwhelming. A bit rough around the edges, but like they can fix that up before release. Art style wise, I think they really nailed it. The only thing I didn't like about the trailer, and then the game itself, are these weird hexagonal pillars that are just everywhere. I get that it's like a ring repairing itself. We don't usually get to see the ring's innards like this, but there was none of that in the trailer, or any previous Halo game for that matter. I don't know, I just feel like it kind of ruined the natural beauty of the environment with these ugly honeycomb pillars that were just everywhere. But anyway, where were we? Oh, that's right, 1 week after the trailer drops, the game gets delayed. Really? It's already been 5 years leading into 6. That's twice as long dev time as any previous Halo game. But you know what? I'd rather them take their time and release a more polished, unbroken game. We don't want another MCC on our hands. Give them another year and I'm sure that they'll release a complete and working game. This was very disappointing news, but it wasn't devastating. I'll tell you what was though. No. Oh God, no. Please, no. 343, you were doing so good. The trailers looked awesome. The art style was fire. People were happy. You were doing so well. You were making good decisions. And then you went and did this. Nobody asked you to make Halo Infinite free to play. No one. We don't want a free game, we want a good game. Everybody knew immediately if they were going to make Halo 3 to play, you could bet your ass they were going to fill it to the brim with even more microtransactions than Halo 5, and probably implement all this other live service bullshit like a store and a battle pass, and then lock all the decent customization options behind either a paywall or a grindfest. And once again, we were 100% right to be concerned because that is exactly what they fucking did. In fact, it's both a paywall and a grindfest. And now you're charging a full $60 for just the campaign? It had better be one hell of a fucking campaign then. Things were starting to look very grim. More and more people were leaving the project. We were hearing more about how difficult the engine is to work with because of the insane amount of hired guns you brought in to save costs. So all of these people keep coming in that have never used this fucking engine before, have to learn how to use it, they barely get anything done because they're not familiar with it, and then they leave, and then you do it all over again. Like, what were you thinking? There were just more and more red flags popping up every week. Halo Infinite is going to be a 10-year journey. Oh no, that means if the game is shit, we're stuck with it for 10 years. But it's okay, right? They promised extra story DLC, and we're going to have split screen again? Oh no, we're not. In fact, we don't even have online co-op at launch. But it's okay, guys. We know how important split screen is to you. Just hold tight. We're gonna get split screen working just like we promised. Actually, we've decided it's not that important. We're canning split screen. Oh. Okay then. And we're canning the story DLC we promised you, despite the fact you paid full price for a mediocre campaign under the assumption there'd be the DLC for it that we promised you there would be. How many promises does someone have to break before we're allowed to just call them what they really are? A liar. You said you were going to do something, you didn't do it. So what you said was false. I don't give a fuck if you intended to do it at the time you said it, because I paid money to buy your product under the assumption that the things you said were going to be in the game would actually be in the game. How the fuck is this legal? This should be a crime. Because we all got fucking robbed, dude. You know, when I first played Halo Infinite's campaign, I assumed because of how much I paid for just it, that it was going to be a megalith of a campaign. When the final cutscene was playing, I didn't think it was the final cutscene. I thought we were like 1/3 of the way through the game. There was sand in the trailer, so we must be moving on to the sand map now. I bet the Flood are going to come into this at any point soon. The campaign's about to kick into a whole new gear. And then later we'll go to the snow map, and nope, that was literally it. Huh? Even Halo 5 had a more climactic ending than that. This was such a nothing ending. I literally didn't think it was the ending until I saw the credits. I thought the campaign was just about to get good. Like, that was it. Listen, don't get me wrong. I loved the second mission of the first Halo. I loved the aesthetic of the lush green grass atop the grey stone, rivers and waterfalls flowing through the pines, and all with this beautiful mystical space backdrop with the iconic ring wrapping around the skybox. I definitely wanted more of that and was hoping to see that in Halo Infinite, but this entire game is only that. It's just the Halo level of Halo 1 stretched out into a massive open world, with a couple of Forerunner structures and banished bases sprinkled throughout, but that's it. There's no variety here. My favourite part of this game was actually when the brutes were attacking you in the training facility they built to mimic UNSC bases. I thought this was cool as shit, because it was different. Occasionally the missions have these moments where the design feels more intentional like that of the linear games. These moments where things felt more unique and handcrafted, and every time it did, it just made me realize, I wish the whole game was like this. I don't like open world Halo. Maybe it could work with some other gameplay, but I just don't think it works that well with the Halo gameplay loop. I like that more linear format for Halo campaigns. It's just so much more interesting to me. This game felt like a Far Cry game, but with just the side quests. It just felt like a checklist of chores more than anything. I found myself doing the fusion coil glitch just to travel faster. I never really got that sense of wonder, discovery, or rewarding exploration that I got from other open world games like Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring. Instead, it just kind of felt like I was playing Banjo-Tooie on steroids. It's just the same gameplay as before, but the levels are too big. Way too big. And there's only one level. What happened to all these places we saw in the trailer? There's nothing like this in the actual game. And the story... there is no story. Halo Infinite's story, it's like if you just finished reading like a really good book, and then you put the book down and went to dig into its sequel. This game takes place during the time period that I didn't have a book in my hand. You imply that there's all this cool shit that happened before the game starts, and you imply that there's all this cool shit that's going to happen next, and then the game just ends. Clearly you guys had some kind of interesting story written, so why in the fuck did you make the actual campaign take place in the most uninteresting part of that story between the actual good bits? This entire campaign is like a filler episode. Nothing fucking happens. The gunplay is good, great even, perhaps even the most satisfying it's ever been. But the entire game just feels so bare bones and copy-pasted. Like, yes, that 30 seconds of fun is important, and I think you did a pretty good job on that part. But it starts to get boring because the context of how it's used never changes. It's just Forerunner structure, grassy field, brute structure, Forerunner structure, grassy field, brute structure. The other games had constantly varying locations, interesting level design, and unique placements and behavior of the enemies in those situations. The tone and the music and the vibes would shift and change as the story progressed. There's no vibe shift in this game at all. It's the same vibe the whole way through. It is just woefully lacking in variety. Oh, also, all those wild animals we showed off in the trailer don't exist and they were never going to. We get more talkie-talkie with Chief and Discount Cortana. I mentioned I actually liked Chief and Cortana's talking a lot more in Halo 4, and I do, but this time round it doesn't hit nearly as well because it's not the actual Cortana. I thought I was going to like the pilot from the trailers. He seemed like a character that was going to be more important and fleshed out, or at the very least just entertaining, but he's not. Instead, he's just kind of annoying. There's also no longer any challenge of managing weapons and ammo like there used to be because you can just restock on rocket launchers and snipers between missions for free an unlimited amount of times. I will say one thing, remember how I said Halo 4 and Halo 5 had one song I remembered from each? Halo Infinite also only has one song that I remember that's not a remix of the original theme, and it's called Hunter Dance, and it's really good, and I really like it. I wish there was more like it in the game. So all in all, no, I don't think this campaign is very good. It's by no means terrible, but it's not great. It's really just not. I really think Halo needs to return to that more refined linear format. You can still have the occasional more open mission, like Halo or Silent Cartographer. I think it's good to include large open spaces like this as a nice break from the more cramped hallways. But yeah, don't do a full open world Halo again, please. It's just worse. I think I'd put Infinite's campaign about on par with Halo 4. I think the problem is, you decided to make Halo open world, but you never justified why it should be. You never justified why that would be a better experience than the linear format. Open world video games can be amazing when they are designed to their strengths. You can't just take a pre-existing format that has always been linear and just throw it into an open world as if that makes it a better experience. Once again, 3 for 3, this just feels like another example of you fundamentally changing Halo for the sake of it. Okay, so that's the campaign out of the way, so now it's time to talk about everything else. Remember when I mentioned the aiming felt kinda off in Halo 5? It's even worse in Halo Infinite, and it's like that on purpose. You'll notice, fighting the Covenant in the campaign feels fine. It feels great, actually, never had any issues with aiming there. But in the multiplayer, it feels like you can't aim for shit. When you hop into multiplayer, you're suddenly going to feel like your aiming is a lot worse for some reason. Look, this is a whole tangent I could go on, and I did, but then I removed it from the video because it took me too long. If you want more info on why Halo Infinite's aiming is so weird, go check out this video. I'll link it in the description. The radar in multiplayer is basically useless now. It may as well not even be there because people don't show up on it till they're like 3 feet from you. Halo to me was always about making decisions based off your knowledge of the current situation of the battlefield. When you don't have that knowledge, things start to come down way more to just reflexes. And yes, I know the pro Halo scene has never had radar. I don't care. I'm not a pro Halo player. I don't really like the pro Halo settings. I like the normal settings. It's more fun. It's less sweaty and it's less reaction based. If I wanted to play a reflex shooter, I'd play Call of Duty. Actually, no, I wouldn't, because Call of Duty's fucking dog shit now as well. Anyway, why did you give us all AI companions? I don't need encouragement, Butler. I need you to shut the fuck up and let me concentrate. You know these were only added to pad out your new shop and battle pass. Halo Infinite has been out for years now, and you didn't even give me the privilege to turn this shit off until a few months ago. Also, this game has massive desync issues. Okay, I don't know if this is host advantage. I don't know what this is. It feels different somehow. All I know is that even now, the problem of lag robbing me of kills I know I deserved still persists. It's still a problem, and that's a problem. Why is this such a uniquely Halo thing? I don't have this issue with any other AAA multiplayer game. It's only Halo. I am forbidden from ever playing a normal match of any Halo game without weird laggy bullshit putting a damper on the entire experience. The skill-based matchmaking, even in social playlist, is so unbelievably strict. Every single game feels like I have to play, right now, the best I have ever played, or I'm going to lose horrifically. It doesn't even matter. Every match result is literally predetermined. That's not an exaggeration. That is how the system was designed. The outcome is decided before the match even starts. So the better you are at the game, the more you will be punished for it. Now finally, and this is a big one, player customization, aka 343's plan to suck as much money out of you as they possibly can by charging a third of the price of an entire video game for shit you used to be able to earn for free. These prices are fucking ridiculous. Even Halo 4 wasn't as bad as this. Remember when I brought up TF2 before? Getting the cosmetics you want in that game cost pennies compared to this. And because of the way the Battle Pass works, all of the cosmetics within them, you still have to grind for them after you've paid for it. And the XP is rewarded in such a cunty way to encourage daily play. What if I don't want to play every day? What if I play like one day a week and I just want to play the shit out of it for that day? I get punished for it. I get punished for not playing the game specifically exactly how you want me to, 343. And for some reason, XP boosts work on a time basis, not a game basis. So once again, you get punished if you live in a lower population region where it takes longer to find matches. You're getting less experience.
We want the Spartan to represent the player as much as possible. They can change their body type and their voice, as well as choose prosthetics for the first time.
You said we were going to have more customization than ever before.
The body of customization content that we have on day one ensures that there will be millions of customization combinations for Spartans on the battlefield.
And for us, in multiplayer, it is really about becoming a Spartan, your Spartan. You are you inside of the Halo universe.
How the fuck can you say that when to this day, even 2 years later, I still can't look the way that I have always looked since 2004? I can't even pay for the option I want because that color combination doesn't exist. It's not in the shop. It's not in the Battle Pass. So what you really mean is, yeah, we have more flexibility than ever. We can make as many shaders as we want and do all sorts of crazy shit. But if you have a certain color combination that you've always used to represent yourself for the past 20 years, and we don't make that an available purchase, well then you can get fucked. And the emblem customizer's completely gone. You get a couple of presets, and you get a couple of preset colors for those presets. And that's it. And you're doing this shit again with the teeny tiny variations in codings. There's a very obvious solution here. Just let the player pick where on their Spartan they want the colors to go, like you can. But you're not going to do that, are you?
Coatings offer us a unique opportunity to craft some hyper-polished looks and let you express yourselves in ways you've never been able to before. We're coming at this from a player-first mentality.
If you were actually player-first, if you actually meant that statement and weren't lying through your fucking teeth, that is what you would do. You would let us pick where on our Spartan we want the colors to go. But you're not player-first, you're money-first. And we all fucking know it. At the very least, you need to have primary and secondary color choices as good as Reach had. If you don't buy the Battle Pass, your options for customization are so shit. The art style is great, the armor looks as good as it has since Reach, but if you want to wear it, you're gonna have to shell out the big bucks. I didn't want this. Nobody wanted this. I just wanted to pay full price for a game and get a full experience from it. Is it really that much to ask? Dear Halo YouTubers, what are you guys smoking and can I have some? The amount of times Mint uploads a video that's like, yeah, so these changes sound really good, guys. I think we're finally starting to see 343 turn this game around. And if this keeps up, Halo will be back on top of the world in no time. And then that video is almost immediately followed up with a video like, so guys, unfortunately desync issues are still plaguing the game. The latest update broke literally everything, including my spine. And I have to say, guys, I'm really disappointed with the news that 343 is actually cancelling Halo in Australia. So if you live in Australia, you'll actually no longer be able to play the game. So I'm going to go ahead and delete my YouTube channel now. Bye, guys. Like, I'm sorry. I know you guys want positivity in the Halo community. I know you want Halo to be good again. You don't think I want that? Look at 343's track record. Look at how long it took me to cover all the bad shit they've done the past 10 years. How many times can someone fuck up and do the wrong thing before you stop expecting them to do the right thing? How many times can they break their promises, completely fail to deliver on expectations, and yet you still think it's going to be any different the next time around? There's a certain vast quote from Far Cry 3 I want to bring up right now. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? This is the reality, okay? Halo is a fucking husk, a shadow of a shadow of a shadow of its former self. This is not Halo. This is pathetic. And if you think that is going to change anytime soon, respectfully, you're fucking dreaming, mate. Halo used to be so good that despite all the issues that came with playing on overseas servers, the endless amount of frustration that caused, Halo was so fun that it outweighed that frustration. And that is a feat and a half, let me tell you, because we're talking about a lot of frustration here. But now it's not just the frustration with lag, it's the frustration with the franchise as a whole. The way it has been constantly mismanaged and mistreated. The constant, consistent poor decision making, the mocking of your own fans, the low population. It all just comes together to create this overwhelming experience of just, this fucking sucks. Halo is important to me. It's given me experiences that I will never forget. I've made friends in this game that I still talk to this day. It was such a massive part of my life for so long, but as of about 2 years ago, that's not the case anymore. Halo Infinite just kept adding more and more and more cosmetics that were more expensive each time, instead of actually addressing the game's real problems. I don't want to feel like I'm fighting for my life every time I hit play. I just want to have some fun in a video game, dude. And I just can't deal with the shitty connection in the Master Chief Collection anymore. I just can't. I've been dealing with this shit for over a decade. I can't take it anymore. The frustration I get from playing this game just outweighs any fun I get from it anymore. So I quit. No, for real, like, I just straight up quit. I don't play Halo anymore. I don't have any intention to play it again. Ever. I loved Halo. A lot of people loved Halo. And you spent the last 12 years fucking massacring any reason anyone had to give a shit about this franchise. What is it with this fucking company? It's always 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. Like, you sometimes actually listen to feedback and you implement good changes that people ask for, but then you go and fuck up a bunch of other things in ways that nobody thought was even possible. Like these 343 stands, I don't understand. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. They don't need you to defend them. I'm not saying you can't defend them if someone levies unwarranted criticism or someone says shit that's just dumb, but you're not going to emotionally manipulate me into feeling bad about being mad at a studio that consistently and continuously prioritizes money over quality, breaks its promises if it's not outright just lying, and mishandled one of the best franchises in the world this badly. The only reason 343 Studios exists is specifically to make Halo. How, in the love of Christ, are you so unfathomably bad at it? This is the last take I'm doing of this outro because we've been here for too long. I didn't plan to end the video here. I had this whole other section planned where I came in, like, put the hoodie on, and I was like, right, now I'm going to tell you how we're going to fix Halo. I'm going to give you a step-by-step plan, 343, on how to actually bring this franchise back to its glory. That was the plan. That's what this part of the video was supposed to be. And then when I actually got to this part of the video, I realized kind of in the process of making this whole thing, I don't care anymore. I don't care about Halo anymore. And as you can probably tell by how angry I got, like legitimately, not even in a funny way, just legitimately actually upset and angry I got throughout this video in some parts. I cared about this franchise. A lot. Probably a bit too much. And kind of going back to the couple Star Wars comparisons I made throughout this video, again, you achieved something quite impressive in a way, 343, along with your pals over at Disney, in that you somehow managed to take something that people cared about, even the people who cared about it to probably a concerning, slightly unhealthy degree, and you managed to make even those people stop giving a fuck. That's impressive. It's impressive that you managed to be so bad at something. I would legitimately consider 343 Studios to be, in terms of like big AAA developers, you guys are the worst video game company ever. Of all time.